Hi, welcome everyone. So today is the Teach Smart session. It's the first session. Yeah, so the today's session is more about designing Canvas assignment. You not only learn the technical aspects in the Canvas, but also learn the pedagogy behind the scenes. So let me share my screen so that we can start from there. So this is my sample course. The first thing I want to introduce is to create very simple, regular Canvas assignment. The assignment I want to use for demo today is this final reflection. I know that this is a good timing to introduce. You probably already have a lot of ideas in mind to create the final for your students. For my course, because this my demo course, the topic is about AI video production. So for my finals, I actually have two finals options in mind. The first final is very traditional. I want my students to reflect on what they have learned in my course. So I want to create a final reflection for my students to submit. So let's take a look at this Canvas assignment write-up. So I have very clear instructions for this assignment. What is a little bit different than my regular assignment is that I provide them with a variety of submission format. Because according to the UDO principle, it's very encouraged that we provide the multiple means of expression for your students. So it doesn't have to be always the unique format. And when we think about reflection, and majority of us will think about like write something like a reflection paper or like an essay paper. But I really want to provide my students with a variety of options. In here, students have three options. They can choose to do a very traditional way. They can write a reflection paper, but also they can create an e-portfolio, a very simple website to showcase what they have learned in my course. And also, some students may very confidence in like creating the videos and talk through what they have learned. They can choose to submit the reflection as a video format. So here I was listing out very clearly they have the options, and they also needs to be sure no matter what option they choose, they need to include those key points in their product. Let's take a look at the settings because when you designing a Canvas assignment, the first step is, of course, is writing up very clear instruction for your student, but also you need to make sure that the assignment settings is what you want, right? So when we navigate to the settings, we want to check out the variety of the details set up correctly. The points and is what I have 100 points for the maximum grade. And I put it under the assignment group named finals. And I do want to display the grade as points. And here is very important options for submission type. Because here, remember I enabled three different format for my student to submit. So I will definitely enable the file uploads because for the first option, when students submit in Word document and PDF, they need to submit their work as a file, right? And the other option I enable is the website URL because for some students, they may want to submit it as an e-portfolio. So that's a website URL. And for this submission type, I intentionally don't check, I didn't check the text entry box on purpose because I don't want my student come here to type in their answers as the first option. I really want them to take it more seriously, to open the Word document, to really spending more time, think through their reflections. I feel like if they go to the text entry and then it has a lot of unstable reasons. For example, if a student during the process of typing in their answers and then their internet breaking down and they might lost everything they already inputted in this assignment. So for safer reason, I only allow them to submit their writing assignments as a Word document or PDF. That's why I only enabled file uploads and the website URL. And for the video, for the students, if they want to submit video, I don't enable the media recording because students won't use the media recording tool. They will use the Canvas Studio tool, which is the Canvas native video platform. I will introduce this later, how students can use this tool to submit a video assignment. I just want to compare like the tool. The Studio tool is Canvas native tool, integrated already in Canvas nicely. So I don't need to enable anything for the video submission part because the video submission is by default enabled. So that's for the submission type I designed for this assignment. On your particular case, let's say if you have a video assignments for this for particular assignment, you want to allow students to submit the video. You can choose the same. You can allow your student to submit a video through the Studio tool. Yeah. And for the default setting, I just keep it as it is. It's not a group assignment. It's not peer review. And here, of course, I want to set a due date for it. And after I finalize this settings, I can click on Save. So this is just a workflow that when you create any Canvas regular assignments, you want to always pay attention to the instructions and as well as the settings. And here on this page, the next part I want to introduce is the rubric. Yeah, so if you never used Canvas rubric before, I strongly encourage you to play around with it because the rubric provide a very clear criteria and expectation for your students. And also you can use the rubric to grade. It's more convenient for you to grade. Let's say if you have essay paper, you can create the different writing criterias and you can use this rubric to grade your student work. And Irene, my colleague Irene will introduce grading part on Thursday. So definitely you will learn more about that piece. Yeah. So to create a rubric, you can navigate to the lower left. There is a plus create rubric button. By clicking on this button, you can design a rubric out from scratch. And here you can give a name of the rubric and you can choose the scales and the levels and the rating orders and the scoring. And you can create individual criterias to really input those scales and points for it. So I know that it is a little bit time consuming when you create a new rubric, but please note that once you create a rubric, you can use it for all of your courses, including future courses. Okay. I'm going to exit out because I already have several rubrics I already created for my other course. So I want to use that rubric directly. So let's go back to the assignment page for this final reflection. For those who already use rubric, you can definitely find a rubric and attach that rubric to this specific assignment. So I would click on Find Rubric. And you will see I can jump between all my courses to finding the desired rubric. I really like this template, so I'm going to borrow this rubric template for this assignment. So I choose this template and then I click on Add. You will see that rubric get added to this assignment. And I can preview the rubric to make sure that this is the criteria matches with it. I can also customize it because this is a template. It's not 100% accurate. So I can click on Edit Rubric and I can give a different name. I can name it Final Reflection. Sorry. Reflection. And then I can edit individual scales and the criteria if I want. After I finalize this rubric, I can click on Save Rubric. And then you will see that I added a rubric for this assignment. So that's for the rubric part. I want to pause briefly and to see if you have any questions or any question from the chat. Okay, let's see. Okay, thank you, Irene. Irene posed how to add a rubric to an assignment documentation. So you can check out that documentation from the chat.
So Melody, actually, I have a question. So you mentioned that there are multiple formats the students, can submit this assignment. So do you suggest using, like, what's your pedagogical approach? Do you use like 3 different rubrics depending on the format, or like you can use one universal rubric?
I would use the same rubric because what I want is outside of the format. Every format can students can have the opportunities to provide a very thorough reflection for what they learn. Because my expectation is that they want to reflect on the concept and the skills they gained for this for my course, and they want to describe a challenge they encountered and how they overcome them. So that's what I really focused on the result. So I will definitely this template, I will definitely spending some time really rethink about the criteria, but I intend to use the same rubric to grade all the different formats.
Joanne asks if she can accept specific formats, for example, only accept student submissions in doc, for example, and not PDF. Is it
Yes.
possible?
Yes. So for those who has, if you design assignment that you only want them to submit a certain format, for example, you want them to submit Word document, not PDF. So under the submission type, and under when you enable file uploads, you can check this box, restrict the upload file types. And here you can put the extensions. If you only accept the document, so you just put the doc as the only acceptable format right here. Like this. So when you set this up, students can only submit the document, the Word document. Yep, so that's it. Okay. Let's take a look at the third options, how to submit the video reflection. We can actually switch to the test student to see how students submit for this assignment. So if you're looking for that, there is a view as a student button, you can click on it. And the student interface will look like this. They will have the rubric and they have the instructions for the assignments. And they scroll all the way down, see that they have the submission types they can choose from, which we already set up under the assignment settings. They can upload the Word document or PDF. They can submit a web URL and they can use the studio, right, to submit a video. So the other two options are very straightforward, but the studio, I think, is necessary for me to demonstrate how a student can submit a video. So first, they need to click on this plug button, this studio button. They click on the studio and it will open up the student's library. And the students can click on this plus button to record a video right away. They can do a studio capture to recording their face using their laptop cam. They can do a screen-o-matics to, if they have a PowerPoint, they can do a voice over PowerPoint to record a very engaging videos. And if students already record something over their phone using their other device, they can add that video as MP4 file. In my case, as a test student, I already recorded my video. So I'm gonna click on Add Media, and then I will find that video from my desktop, and then I just drag and drop this. And you will see that my video get uploaded. So this is my sample reflection video. I'm gonna select it. And for this, I just disable the media tab because I don't want anybody to comment directly on my video. I just want to submit as it is. So I click on Embed Media. You will see that this video get added to my library as well as it get added to this assignment. And after it finished, I can click on Submit Assignment. Then it will indicate that I already submitted for this assignment. Okay? So that's the normal procedures for student to submit an assignment if you are curious about this. For you, you can always test it out by using the test student view to see how students would submit your assignment. It won't impact anything because you're using what you're using is the text student view. The next part I want to introduce is a whole different assignment format. Is the Turnitin assignment, which is my second options for these finals, because in the finals, I of course want students to submit their final reflection, but there is another part I really want them to do a research on the AI video topics. So I want them to conduct research and writing down a very formal research paper. So I want to create a Turnitin assignment for that, okay? And to create a Turnitin assignment is different. You cannot do from here. So to create a Turnitin assignment, you need to scroll all the way up to this assignment page. And you want to click is the three dot on the top right. When you expand this menu, there is a Turnitin plugin. So you want to click on the Turning In button. And the Turning In interface will loading for you. And if you already use the Turning In your previous course, that's wonderful. But you probably noticed that the interface get changed a little bit. It's just a more kind of like a modern style of the interface. So the next step is to choose using the standard assignment, which is also the classic option for the Turning In. So we're going to click on this tab. And all the details will open up for you. And I already have this sample assignment, so I'm just copy pasting the assignment title as well as the assignment instruction to under the instruction. Okay. And I will set up the maximum grade as 100, and the due date can be December 19th. Okay. And remember the feedback release days, you can always, you probably need to adjust it after due date. So I want them to receive, just to give 2 extra days for me to grade them, and they will receive my feedback on this day. Yeah. And a lot of instructors finish those boxes and they feel like they are done, and they click on submit, which is it's not super okay, because they all ignore these optional settings, which I think Turnitin shouldn't call this optional setting. They should rename it to be important settings, because this is where we really need to take a look at it. So don't forget, every time when you create Turnitin assignment, you need to open this optional settings, because they're very complicated and it's probably not what you want. So we're gonna to click on the optional settings, and we're gonna to read through each options. First, this is submission settings. Student, you will submit the student's paper to a variety of repository. You can submit to standard paper repository, and you can do like institutional paper repository. I would always choose the standard, because it's like it's wider repository, have more storage in it. And then I will allow late submissions. And of course, you can decide whether you allow the late submissions. Means that students still can submit after the due date. After this due date, they can still submit their assignment. It's up to you, right? And these options attach a rubric, and you want to make sure that you understand that this rubric is totally different than the rubrics I just introduced. So the rubric, you see that I create a rubric for the Canvas regular assignment. That's different. For Turnitin, you cannot use the Canvas rubric for grading for Turnitin. The Turnitin have its own system for the rubric. So if you want to use a rubric for Turnitin, you have to do it through here. So you need to attach a rubric, and you can select a template. Very similar things, select a template and then build from there. Yeah. For this, I don't want to use a rubric, so I'm okay without a rubric. And for the similarity report, this is super important, because a lot of students said that I cannot resubmit. A lot of students find their instructor said that I submit a wrong paper, but I cannot resubmit to the Turnitin, because the default settings that students get the similarity report immediately. This means that student cannot resubmit. If you allow your student to resubmit to this assignment, just in case they submit the wrong paper, you can switch this to a different options, like you still generate the report immediately, but students can resubmit until the due date. So that's super important. I would enable this just in case if students submit the wrong thing. Yeah. And I will definitely check this because I want to allow my student to view their similarity reports to get a sense like what's the score for their the similarity. And I would compare against everything. I would check the institution student paper repository as well because I super careful. Like I don't want them to reuse their own paper. I don't want them to use their classmates' paper. So I will check all of the repository and content. And if you scroll down, you will notice that there is an option to save these settings for future use. That's wonderful because for every of my Turnitin assignment, I pretty much am using the same settings for all of my Turnitin assignment. So in the future, I don't need to really go here to change everything again. So I prefer to save these settings for my future use. And here, if you finish all the optional settings, you're good to go. You can click on Submit. And you will see that this Turnitin assignment created here. Yeah, but this is, I noticed that this is the wrong category. It's not under this assignments category. I want to move this, place it under the finals. Yeah, because I want this to be like in the right category. This is related to the finals, so I will group these two together. Each assignment takes 100 points, and then they together they take 20% of the final grade. Yeah. And I noticed that this is not published, so I want to publish it for now so students can have access to starting to working on the final essays assignment. Yeah. That's the procedures how you create a Turnitin assignment. I want to pause and to see if we have more questions. If you have any questions unanswered, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your questions directly.
Hey, Melody, this is Chris.
Yeah.
How are you? Thanks so much. Good. Thanks so much for this. This is really helpful. I had some questions on, I think Linda just added one too. So I have used presentation format for years in my Blackboard courses, and I have students write a paper and then they create a short presentation about 10 minutes long and try to mimic essentially what we would do kind of in the last day of class where they might talk about their paper. And I want them to also be able to view their classmates' papers and
Yep.
then make comments on it, just like, oh, I really love how you talked about blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And I tried to use already, and I think I may need to kind of play with it more. In the introductions, I have introductions because mine is a asynchronous online course, so I want us to be able to interact in different ways. And I use an introduction early in the semester. And I noticed this year in Canvas that where students used to in Blackboard will be able to really easily just click a link and create a video of themselves.
Yep.
It seems pretty awkward to me in Canvas. It took me like a day to upload everything and download software into my computer to do my weekly address videos in Studio. So no one made a recording. They all just typed in things. So that kind of stuck out to me. So I need to figure out how to make it clear for them. So
Yeah.
I'm really
So
worried about this presentation that the same thing's going to happen. They're all going to be asking me, how the heck do I do that?
yeah, so it's necessary for instructor to provide the documentation for student how to do that because it's not that straightforward. What I just demonstrate, if without my demonstration, I don't think students will be able to figure it out their own. They will have no idea what is the studio button for. So I can find out two documentation very quickly, and you can embed it in your assignments. Like it's a documentation for students how to do things. And for here, I can quickly demonstrate. You mentioned about like the presentation students can see each other's, right?
Yeah, if you
So
could show that, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
yeah, so what you want to create as a discussion forum is not a assignment, because for this video production, the final reflection I just demoed is that they only submit the video to you, to instructor, and other student cannot see. But for discussions, for example, if I want them to, let's say, record a video for this week 2 discussion, they have an option to record a video and submit from here, right? And everybody else can see the videos, can comment on each other. When they click on reply, and will open the text entry box, and here they will expand the full menu, click on the 3 dot, and here there is a plug button. So there's all the apps they can use. One of it is the studio button, right? They can click on the studio and they can, the workflow becomes similar. Like they can record a video right away. They can choose their own videos and they can select it, and they can embed the video into this text box, and they can click on reply, and everyone will watch for this video. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
that is
definitely they need,
usable, but it's a lot of steps because it's how I now have to
yes,
upload my stuff. So it took me some kind of trial and error to figure it out.
yes. So they need the documentation, like I
Yeah.
said, the step-by-step guidance on them, how to do this, and we already have it. The student, the Canvas student support have the article. I will send the link to you.
Oh, okay,
Just sent it,
wonderful.
Melody. I put it in
Oh,
chat.
thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
okay,
you so
Linda already
much.
put the link. Thank you
Thank you.
very
Yeah, I'll
much.
take a look
Sure.
at it. And I use discussion boards kind of every other week, so they are used to that format, but they're not recording videos of themselves. So I'll take a look at those links. That's great. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Thank you, Melody. So
Mhm.
also, Chris, it's usually one tech-savvy student or the couple who can teach the rest. So, you know, instead of you like do all the heavy lifting, those are adult students, grad students, you know, again, like their buddies can teach them.
Okay, I think that's all for today, but please, if you have time, please come Thursday at the same time, 12 to 1, and to learn more about the feedback, how to streamline the feedback to your students.